They told you that compounding is the secret to getting rich. That if you just start early, invest a little every month and stay consistent, you'll retire wealthy. Sounds great, right? But here's the truth nobody talks about. Compounding only works if you're working with a large sum of money. Otherwise, it's painfully slow. If compounding really made you rich starting from nothing, we'd all be millionaires by now. But we're not. And that's not a coincidence. It's a design flaw in the narrative. Let's break it down. Compounding at its core is a multiplier effect. Your money earns interest. That interest earns more interest, and so on. Sounds magical. But what they forget to emphasize is that the magic doesn't even start until your money is already working at scale. Think of it like rolling a snowball down a hill. If you start with a marble, it might roll, but it's not gaining mass. Start with a boulder, and now you're creating an avalanche. Let's do some quick math. If you invest $100 a month at 8% annual return, how much will you have after 10 years? About $18,000. Sounds okay. But that's 10 years of disciplined investing for what amounts to a modest emergency fund. If you stretch it to 30 years, sure, you cross $140,000. But here's the catch. That's 30 years of your life. And most of the growth happens in the last 5 years. Why? Because compounding is backloaded. The exponential part only kicks in after decades. And during those decades, inflation is eating away at your money. Life gets expensive. Emergencies happen. Jobs change. That $140K in 30 years? In real terms, it might feel like half. Now compare that to someone who starts with $50,000 or $100,000. Their snowball starts much farther down the hill. Even at the same growth rate, they're seeing thousands in passive income within a year. The compounding works because the base is big enough to matter. The strategy most people are sold, start with $10, be patient, isn't wrong. But it's incomplete. Because the time required to get meaningful results from small investments is longer than most people can realistically stick with, and longer than their financial needs can wait. So what's the missing piece? The part nobody says out loud. You need to get the large sum first, and then let compounding do its thing. That means before you even think about compound interest, you need to build capital. You need a strategy not for investing, but for income growth. Side hustles, skill stacking, high leverage opportunities, business, freelancing. Anything that can push your earnings into a range where saving and investing $1,000, $2,000 per month is realistic, because that's when compounding starts to matter. Let me be clear. This isn't about giving up on compound interest. It's about respecting it enough to give it a fighting chance. If your base is too small, the math works against you. But if you can get that base up fast, then the real magic happens. Here's how to flip the compounding equation in your favor. Step 1. Maximize your income, not passively, actively. That means taking inventory of your skills and aggressively improving them. Learn copywriting, digital marketing, coding, sales, anything with high demand and low barrier to entry. You don't need to go back to college. You need to become more valuable in the marketplace. Most people are underpaid because they're underskilled or underleveraged. Fix that first. Step 2. Minimize lifestyle creep. As you increase income, don't let your expenses balloon. Keep your lifestyle simple while your income climbs. That gap, your savings rate, is the real fuel for compounding. People think the rate of return matters most. It doesn't. Savings rate matters more than ROI in the beginning. Get that gap big and fast. Step 3. Build a war chest. Before you think about investing long-term, you need short-term liquidity. An emergency fund, a few months' worth of expenses. Why? Because compounding only works when you don't have to interrupt it. If you're pulling money out for a car repair or a medical bill, the snowball gets destroyed before it builds. Build your buffer, then you invest. Step 4. Focus on high-yield, low-noise investing. Don't chase hype. Don't jump into the next meme stock or hot crypto. Buy boring, index funds, REITs, dividend stocks, assets with consistent long-term potential. The goal here isn't thrills, it's momentum. Wealth is built with discipline, not dopamine. Step 5. Automate everything. The less emotion in your system, the better. Set up auto deposits, automate investments. Remove the friction between you and your goals. You want to be lazy and rich, not reactive and broke. And finally, step 6. Understand your time frame. Most people get discouraged because they expect compounding to deliver magic in 2 years. It won't. But if you go in knowing the first 5 years are about building the base, the next 5 years about watching growth begin, and the years after that about explosive results, then you're mentally prepared. You'll stop chasing shortcuts and start building a strategy. Here's the mindset shift. Don't worship compounding. Weaponize it. Use your hustle years to build capital, not just hope. Don't fall into the trap of thinking $50 here and there will get you to financial freedom. It won't. But stacking $50 into $500 and $500 into $5,000. Now we're talking. Your job isn't to start small and wait. Your job is to start smart and scale. Because once you have $100,000 working for you at 7%, that's $7,000 a year. Passive. That's rent. That's peace of mind. That's leverage. And once you hit $500K, it's $35,000. With $1 million, $70K annually without lifting a finger. Now compounding is no longer a fantasy, it's a financial force. So remember, compounding is real, but it's not magic, it's math. And like any formula, it only works if you give it the right input. Time matters, but scale matters more. Don't just wait for 30 years, use the first 5 to earn, grow and scale like hell. Then let compounding take over. This is the truth about money they don't teach in school. But now, you know better. Time to act.